Another quick note is I'd played this person before. On the previous time, I was using my Kill Team Orc dice, and I rolled so many sixes. It was insane. Like, I genuinely felt bad. That is why, to this game, I brought casino dice, because you know that they roll accurately, whereas the GW dice, I genuinely felt like I was cheating. Hello everyone, Glass Half Dead here, trying a slightly different format today as I try to get things working. As you can see, I'm going to go over a battle report between me and Tyranids. There's two battles, and the first one I forgot to take pictures. Effectively, there's only two, so I'm going to be filling in a lot of blanks there. And in the second one, I took a lot more pictures. You may be wondering, there are so many channels out there that do battle reports. Why am I watching pictures? For the simple reason, guys, that I have yet to have the courage to ask someone, hey, do you mind if I set up a tripod next to the table and record the game? So, yeah, let's get into it. Here we see turn one. This is after the movement phase. Obviously, I'm playing my Drukhari here, the bright yellow guys, and the other guy's playing his Tyranids. We had a warrior with a barbed strangler, I think 7 Hormagaunts, 2 Gene Stealers, which you can see one of them there. The other one's hidden somewhere. I can't see him. And a Lictor just to the top right of the screen there. He's gonna become more apparent in the next picture, I think. And my dice at the bottom left there showing a command point. My command points. So this was just the first movement phase. At this point, we both moved. I figured there was no point showing you deployment because it was a bit boring. I think the key thing to notice here, guys, is all of my 4 guys at the back there are obscured from his one shooting model, which obviously when I moved them, I went around his side of the board, lined up his line of sight, made sure that they were obscured. So that's always something to keep in mind. Obviously, against Tyranids, who have effectively one shooting model, pretty easy to do. Even though they look like they're completely in the open, they're not. And then everybody else is totally obscured. Anyway, okay, next up. Boom. Now, I definitely missed a turn here because I know that his Lictor that is currently engaged with all of my witches had done predatory leap to get to the top of that building. That's why I moved the casino dice. And then he charged me with another predatory leap. So that building in the center is actually about 10 inches tall. Like, it's pretty big. So he would have had to have taken a falling roll damage there. But because he used predatory leap, he got into combat no problem and only had to roll like a 1. It's a foregone conclusion. And because it was so high and he was there, I couldn't see him. So there we go. What's happened here? So obviously, basically everybody's moved up. Oh, we were playing the mission where you have to get off the other opponent's board side, which is why his Hormagaunts all darted off to the right there, to the top of the board, because he was trying to run past me. Now all of my witches were tied up at that point, and then he legged it, which was a smart move by him. But instead, I moved up all of my shooting guys, so all of them were within half range, including my venom cannon. And they started laying down some fire, despite managing to get, what was it, 6, 8, 10, 12 shots plus a splinter pistol into them. Didn't kill a single one. That was some very poor rolling there. At the back with him, we see that he's left some of his guys in those ruins at the back. That was actually a pretty smart move. Had the game continued and I just tried to run past him, he would have been able to make multiple charges and engage me and stop me from getting off his board side. Unfortunately for him, it meant that he didn't have them in the combat, but what can you do? At this point, also, his warrior is now useless. It's too far away to actually make any shots because everyone it can see is engaged in melee. Also, unfortunately, that's the last picture for this fight because I'm a terrible person. And I think the fight ended. I actually broke him. Yeah. And I got 4 kills in total, I think, whereas he only got 2. Yeah, so it was a victory Drukhari. Another quick note is I'd played this person before. On the previous time, I was using my Kill Team Orc dice, and I rolled so many sixes. It was insane. Like, I genuinely felt bad. That is why, to this game, I brought casino dice, because you know that they roll accurately, whereas the GW dice, I genuinely felt like I was cheating. That's how many sixes I rolled. It was insane, and I didn't like that feeling. So I'm actually a casino dice. I'm a casino dice man now. There you go, straight up. I'm all about the casino dice. That's my life. I'm gonna live it. Okay, this is the setup for the second game. We're doing diagonal deployments. I'm bottom left, he's top right. We've got our objectives round the middle. This was sweep and clear, I think. Basically, you get one victory point for kills, I think, and then at the end of the game, you get 3 victory points for every objective that you hold. So up until the end of the game, the objectives mean nothing. I had selected traps in the scouting phase. That's why I took this picture, because then, oh, look at that. Awesome Photoshop skills, right? This is my very quick way of when you're in, you don't have pen and paper, just take a picture, edit the picture, scribble on the bits of terrain that you have claimed. Now, I actually made a mistake here. Claiming the center, claiming the center building was no problem. However, I should not have been allowed to claim that upper right bit of terrain because that is well over 8 inches, like length. I should have been only been able to claim one of the walkways, basically, but instead I claimed the whole thing. Turned out to not matter because actually I completely forgot. So he deployed on it and then he moved on it and I just completely forgot that it was trapped. And after like 2 turns, I said, "Oh, they're trapped, by the way. Sorry, I forgot." But then he was like, "Oh, I'll roll everything." But he'd moved like 3 or 4 of his guys through the terrain and onto the terrain, which he obviously wouldn't have done if he'd known that it was trapped. So I said, "No, don't worry. Screw it." This is our deployment. Yes, this is how we deployed. I've got my venom cannon top left there. From where he is there, he can see almost his entire army. He can't quite, well, he can see the top of the lictor there with his claws. And everyone there was within the 36, no, within the 18-inch half distance range. So he was hitting at full ballistic skill and firing 6 shots. So that was a great little setup. I set him up last. Everyone else is just chilling out, being normal. Let's see what comes up next. This is another angle. As you can tell, I tried to get a little bit more complicated and advanced and actually good with taking pictures for you guys. That does give you a slightly better view of the height of the board we're playing on. Also, it's in focus. Isn't that a novelty from me? This is out of focus. Great. Okay, so this must be after our first movement turn. You see, he moved up onto the central terrain there with 3 of his dudes. I moved back with my witches. I did not want any of that going down. I was like, no, no. So from where he is there, he could probably still make the charge, but we are then over, I think, 6 inches. So I was gambling that it would be okay. Also, having moved my witches back, they do have splinter pistols, and they would now be able to overwatch. Whereas where they were before, they genuinely couldn't see the rear gene stealer and the rear lictor. They could see the front gene stealer. I think there's nobody's dead yet. Now you'll notice I moved my Hydra Gauntlet and my Shardnet Impaler on the bottom left here, away from the main group, and actually I moved them a little bit further back as well. The intention here was that once they charge my main splinter pistol carrying witches, these two who are the one's a zealot, one's a combat specialist. No, one's a zealot. That's it. They would be able to charge in as a bit of a counter charge, get some attacks off in the charge phase. Sorry, the Hammer of Wrath phase. I'm English. I say Wrath, not Wrath. Yeah. Sue me. Please don't. My God. I don't think we've done any shooting yet. Okay, yeah. So looking at my little dice down here, we're still in turn one. Now we're in turn two. We're out of focus. Something's happened. Okay, so I've killed his Tyranid warrior. Yes. Okay, this brings back memories. So these three guys shot these two or three Hormigans, trying to clear a fire lane so that the blaster could shoot the Tyranid warrior. And also the guy here managed to get an unobscured shot on the Tyranid warrior, which must have worked, I guess. Now, obviously, things have become a bit of a pickle here. So so yeah, this was a bit of a weird one. He only actually managed to get a single one of them. Let's see. So obviously, in my movement phase, I moved all of these guys back the full 7 inches. He then he charged with one of his guys and managed to get into combat with these two, the blaster and the normal guy, the normal Cabalite warrior. None of the others are actually in, so he just missed the charge there. So this guy is still able to shoot, and my splinter cannon up top is able to shoot. Yeah, okay, this is the other angle. So let's note my witches are down here. They've they've shimmied round, trying to get. You see, he's also moved his lictor. So he moved his lictor behind his gene stealer to make sure it gets the obscured bonus and chameleonic skin from my splinter cannon, just in case, which is a smart move. Then my witches have moved round in turn to make sure they can shoot him because they don't want to charge because there's not enough room. They can't get up top there. My Hydra Gauntlets guy's just gone nuts. He's just gone straight in. Good for him, I guess. I don't really know why. I must have been thinking something at the time. Turn three. First thing we notice is I've lost my Hydra Gauntlet guy, but he must have killed a Gene Stealer as well. So good job him. That must have happened in turn two combat because these guys still aren't in combat with these guys. This is just another angle of exactly the same thing, and that's it. I do remember that we ended up calling this game early. All of the Hormigants got into combat. They killed one of them. They killed my leader. Yeah, then I took my Splinter Cannon guy and rolled a lovely 6 on his advance. I managed to move him to objective 3. And same for this guy. I did an advance with him and managed to get him to objective 1. I think that was at the beginning of turn 4. And so I was all set to win victory point wise. But then, unfortunately, we had to call the game because the place I was playing had to shut. And that's it. There you go. I'm going to do, hopefully, I'm going to do a better battle report for my Drukhari, maybe actually with film instead of just images. I felt they played quite well. I felt very strong with their 4-up saves in combat. I will say the only thing is they didn't really have to deal with much shooting in these games. Obviously, when they're getting shot, they just kind of fall apart like paper, like a wet paper bag. Also, my shooting wasn't very effective against his Hormigans. Could have been dice, but yeah, I really didn't kill many of his guys with my shooting, which is a bit of a letdown. I suppose that's the drawback of having poisoned weapons. When you're shooting low toughness models, you're still wounding on 4s, whereas it would have been 3s if they were strength 4. You know, if it was standard bolter, which would have got me a lot more kills or a lot more wounds. And yeah, there you go. So just well, I would say a quick rundown, but it's been quite a while. Um, yeah, all in all, 2 good games. Hope to get some more in. From a gameplay perspective, I feel that I'm definitely improving. My first few games when I was playing my Necrons were kind of horrendous. I just got wiped off the board. Then I tried Tyranids again, wiped off the board. Like I just couldn't do anything. Drukhari feeling much better, and actually I've played Necrons again. I haven't shown that on the channel, but I really held my own a lot better with them. And there you go, guys. Quick rundown of 2 games I played. Main takeaway is if you're against Dark Eldar, you really want to be shooting. You want to be a shooting army. If he had a command roster, I would have definitely suggested that he get rid of the Hormigants and throw in any shooting he can get there. Well, Termagants with Death Spitters, they're good. Or Tyranid Warriors thanks for listening in, guys. I know it's been a bit of a filler content day today, but hopefully we've got more coming. I mean, I do. I've already edited up like 4 videos that I just haven't released yet, so there's definitely more. Let me know if you've played any interesting games. What are you guys playing at the moment? Are you playing anything, or are you living vicariously through YouTube, as I usually do? But now that I'm trying to make YouTube content, I have to actually do it. Bit of a double-edged sword there, guys. Bit of a double-edged sword. Anyway, Glass Half Dead, signing out. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.